Hi everybody! Woo! Since a lot of time I didn't start again this training. You know why? We're in January, we're the 3rd of January, and I started this training a long time ago, and I had to pause because I had so many work, in November, December. Uh, but now I have time again, so I will start again my training on the group policy because we saw so many things. We have a lot of things to do. So let's start and let's talk about group policy, okay? I hope that you had a very nice, end of this year, and I'm sure that this year's will be the end of the COVID, okay? COVID will kill it. Oh my God, I don't like the COVID. You know what? I prefer to speak about group policy. Okay, so what is group policy? I'm sure you know what is a group policy. A group policy is a way that you can apply policy and setting on all your computer, like Windows 10 computer, Windows 7, Windows 8. Okay, let's talk about Windows 10, of course. Windows 7, I hope you don't have any more. Of course, on all your server, okay, not domain controller. Okay, you can push some setting on your domain controller, but it's more like your member server or workstation. Okay, so it's a way to say, okay, I want, for example, to push a configuration on all my computer. Let's say I have some user complaining that they move the taskbar, or they want to log the taskbar, or they want to, or have other user who try to add a printer, and it's it's a problem. So I want to avoid them to add a printer, or I can push software. I can do so many things with group policy. Okay, so the best thing before showing what is group policy is to make a demonstration about the power of group policy. Okay, so let's go here in my VMware. Okay, so I have this workstation. Okay, it's the second PC. Okay, poste 2 is French. Okay, so I'm just going to connect here to my workstation. Okay, so this is a normal workstation. Okay, oh, this is not a good. This is because I'm not in the good language. Okay, so imagine that this is the workstation of a user. Okay, so this user has his Windows 10. Okay, he has his desktop here, he has his taskbar here, he can go in task manager, he can go on control panel. See, so he can do a lot of things here. Okay, and maybe I don't want the user to be able to go on all this. Okay, I don't want the user, for example, to be able to say, okay, to use OneDrive, for example. Okay, or I don't want the user to be able to do that, lock the taskbar and put the taskbar here, and he calls me, oh my God, I don't know where's my taskbar. That's so funny. Okay, your taskbar, where's your taskbar? The taskbar is on the right, but I don't know where is it. So okay, no problem. So I can do a thing like, for example, going here, okay, and locking the taskbar, lock the taskbar, or he cannot just deselect the taskbar. Or for example, if a user do like a control del, okay, I can say, okay, I want to remove, for example, switch user, I want to remove, change the password, I want to remove task manager. I can do what I want here. Okay, so group policy is for all that. So let's see. So first of all, this computer is member of my, so if I go here and I go on my account here and access work in school, actually my workstation is connected to my fluctuation IT.lab and also on the cloud. Okay, but this is not the purpose of this exercise. So here I'm connected here on my domain. Okay, and the name of my workstation is, let's run my favorite scripting. What is it? It's PowerShell. PowerShell is rock and roll. So let's type host name. Okay, so it's poste 2 in French. Okay, so let's go to my AD here, and I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna put in uppercase, and let's do a small example. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna connect to my domain controller. Okay, and here I have my server manager, and here I have my OU. Okay, if I show you here in computers here, I have my poste 2. Okay, for first example is that normally you don't put your computer here. Okay, normally you have like the best thing is to have like let's say let's say laptop, okay, for example, okay, laptops. No, let's say, yeah, you can say, for example, yeah, I can say laptops, okay, or desktop, okay, let's say desktop. Or you can say, you know, IT, in IT you can have desktop and laptop. So let's say that I want to put all my desktop here. Desktop, okay. And here I'm going to take my computer 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to move them here to my desktop. This is very important, okay? You will see after for your group policy. Okay, so I have my desktop here, and I have my user here, okay? So let's take an example, okay? Let's say that I have marketing here, and name is Bob here, okay? Bob is a regular user, okay? Let's see, member of domain user, okay? He's a member of group prof, IT, and domain user. Fantastic. So he's in marketing. So let me show you the power of now group policy. Let's go in server manager, and like you are in a domain controller, you have a software name group policy management. Okay, I'm going to go here on marketing here, and let's say that I want to create a GPO. Okay, so demo 1. So I'm going to say GPO 1. And when you create a GPO here, a GPO will be here on group policy object. Okay, GPO 1. Okay, this one. I go on GPO 1, and here, when you go in your group policy, you have all your user here and your computer. Okay, so for example, let's go on user, let's go on policy. I want to go in admin template, and for example, taskbar, and I want to log the taskbar. So I'm just going to do enable. Okay, when you do enable, it will enable the log the taskbar. Okay, if I go here, after I can also go in start menu, and I can go in system, control that option. I can remove task manager. Okay, so I'm going to enable that, and that's all. That's all. So you created here this GPO. If I go in setting here, I can see my report, and I can see that here I logged the taskbar and remove task manager. Okay, so I'm going to connect with Bob. Okay, remember that Bob is here. Okay, Bob. Where's Bob? I'm going to change the password of Bob because I don't remember the password of Bob. So I'm going to go, remember that I did this training, I started last year. Okay, so let's change this password. I'm going to put welcome 1. Okay, cool. Now let's go on my second and see if it's working. And you're going to see the power of course that. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go in I'm going to do a log off. And I'm going to connect at Bob. So what is happening is that Bob will apply the policy I just created. Okay, so let's put Bob here, and let's type welcome 1. I must put my English because I'm in English. I'm in Malta, and Malta is English keyboard. So he's connected at Bugfish. So actually, it's the first time that's why you have this message here. Okay, let's do a small pause. Okay, cool. So now you can see that now, if I go here, look what is happening is that I can. Oh my God, I love it. Yoo-hoo! I cannot now. The user will not complain. Where's my taskbar? No, because he cannot do anything here, so he cannot move it. Okay, for example, and if he does task manager, see, I don't have any more task manager. Even if I go here and I do that, you will see that, oh, sorry, that task manager is not here anymore. See, task manager. So that's it. That's the power of group policy, okay? And you can do what you want, okay? Let's go back to my AD here. Let's go back to my group policy here, okay? If I go back here, my group policy, I can see that all my policies that I enable. If I go in admin template here, I do all setting. If I go and click here, he can show me the state of the two policy I just created, okay? State here. So enable. So what I can do is that I can go in Windows component. I can do a lot of things. Like for example, I can go in Internet Explorer. I can disable changing advanced page setting, custom user setting, turn off favorite bar. Okay, like just go here and I can see that here. So yeah, and it's at least Internet Explorer 8, and here you have your help setting. Okay, so read it. Okay, What you can do also is that you can search for an admin template. Okay, you can go here, filter option. You can say, okay, I want all the filter with the name prevent something. Okay, so I can say prevent. And if I do okay, in all setting, I will have all the setting with prevent something. Okay, so this is very nice. Prevent. Okay, so let's put the filter off. So you have your control panel here. You have your desktop. You have here. You have your network share folder. Okay, and something what's very great is that you have your policy here, and something is very, very powerful is your preference here. Okay, so for example, you can go and say, okay, I want, for example, go in one Windows setting and I want to create a drive map. Okay, so drive map is fantastic. So I can go here and do a new drive map here. And I can say, okay, I want to create a new drive map. Okay, so I have to create here. And let's create on my AD a folder. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go and create a folder. Okay, I have one here with Doc Office. Okay, let's see if it's shared. Let's do a get SMB share. And let's see if we have something like Doc Office. Okay, Doc Office is very nice. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a new drive map. Okay, so new drive map. Okay, and I can say the letter. Okay, here, so the location and the drive letter. Okay, so location will be the name of my AD. So AD will be this one. So let's see the name of my AD. It's AD. I'm going to go here, type AD, and / Doc Office, okay? And I can say the drive letter that I want, for example, I, okay? And I can do okay now. So if I go back on my second here workstation, what I can do is that I see I don't have any E drive here, okay? I drive, I don't have any I drive. But if I go here in PowerShell, and I run a GPO Update /force, when you run the GPO Update, okay, GPO Update /force, what happens is that he will force it and he will ask to the DC, please, you have a new setting for me, and you will see that you will see the I here is coming. Woo, wow, I love it. See, so meaning that here you have the I folder because I did it directly from my AD. So this is the power. What can you do else with group policy? You can go here and, for example, you can go on your policy here and you can install a software. Okay, this is very nice. So you can deploy the software. Normally, the company doesn't use that to deploy software. They use Intune or SCCM, for example. You can also do folder redirection. Okay, like here, you can go in Windows setting and you can do folder redirection. This is very, very nice. So what is folder redirection? Is that when a user here will go here and will save his document on document or download or document here, you can see that actually document is on the local drive, okay, C drive. So the problem is that each time you log out, if you have a profile, okay, let's say if you have a rooming profile. You know what is a rooming profile? Is that when you configure your user, you can set a profile, and each time you log off, he's going to take all your setting, all your document, and he's going to take all this and how you say, yeah, it's going to take all the document and save it to a server, and all this time is time consumption. Okay, so if you do folder redirection, each time you save something here on my document here, here in document, you will save in real time on the server. Okay, so for that you just have to go on your AD here, and you just have to go on, for example, on document and properties. You can say, okay, basic, and you can create a folder. Okay, and you can just say, okay, this is my file server / let's say, for example, I don't know, I have a share name, let's profile, for example, and for example, if the name is Claire, it's going to create a Claire a folder for Claire, but for all the user. Claire is just an example. Okay, all the user is not Claire. Is it clear? Claire? No. French and English. So I can do that. Okay, and each time, of course, it will save it in real time. So we can do a lot of things. We can change also network setting, and this is fantastic. Okay, so So when you create a policy here, let's go back here in my policy, okay? You can see that I have, when I go here in my GPO here, I can see that I have my computer policy, and here I have my user policy, okay? Here, we don't have the same setting, of course. There is no confusion, okay? You can do a software installation for all people in the computer, or you can do software installation just for one user, okay? So if you have multiple users sharing the same computer, you can do it in computer here. You have Windows setting here. Windows setting, you have a lot of thing here in security setting. Wow, this is awesome, okay? So you can do a lot of things here. This is the most important part for your server and your workstation here. Wow, you have your icon policy, you have the password policy, you have the icon lockout, you have the local policy to do auditing. Big Brother is watching you. You have the group, system services, registry, file system, and of course you have your Windows Defender firewall, okay? So you can remotely say, okay, I want to open all these ports. So I'm going to open the port, for example, let's say 339 with the RDP port on all my server, for example. Wow. So really group policies to configure all your workstation without going to each workstation. You just sit on your seat and you do all the work here. This is amazing. You have your Wi-Fi public key policy for certificate, enrollment, auto-enrollment, and you have so many things here, okay? So, of course, if I want to change something on policy here, for example, I go in admin template, I can go and here I have some setting here. I can go here and start menu taskbar. I have also my Windows component here. And for example, I can go in OneDrive. I can disable OneDrive, okay? If I want to prevent usage of OneDrive, prevent OneDrive for generating network traffic, okay? So yeah, so save document on OneDrive, I can just go here and change it, okay? So event viewer also here, see, event viewer, event forwarding, event log services. I have so many things here today, okay? So I have biometric, BitLocker, drive encryption. Wow, so many things. I can allow user camera, I can say yes or no, and all this is really all the software, okay? I can go sound recorder, for example, do not allow sound recorder to run. I can enable here. I can go also on, for example, sync your setting. I can go in task schedule. I can prohibit, new task creation, prohibit task deletion, okay? If I go here, I can prohibit people to remove task deletion. I have all my Windows Defender. Wow, turn off Windows Defender. Okay, so I can do enable here, and I can turn off Windows Defender. Okay, so this can be a problem here. Okay, so all this is on my computer. Okay, so meaning that here, let's see. Okay, we turn out Windows Defender. Okay, for example, so if I go here, I have on GPO 1. If you see in GPO 1 here, actually on my GPO 1 on marketing here, I have only my user, okay? But if I go on desktop here, let's do a small refresh. If I go on my desktop here, my desktop is here, and on my desktop I don't have any group policy. Okay, let's see what is happening if we reboot my computer or restart it. Okay, remember that when you go on your group policy here, okay, when you change something for the user, just ask the user to do a logout or wait 90 minutes. If you change something on the computer, ask the user to do a reboot or wait 90 minutes. So I'm going to go here on my computer and I'm going to restart it. You can do also a GPO Update Force, of course, huh? But I prefer to restart, okay? Let's wait a minute and restart my computer. I have just restarted, so let's go back here and let's see if it worked correctly. So I'm going to do a welcome one. Oh, this keyboard, oh my God, each time I have to change it. I can change it, of course, by group policy or of all that. So this is my computer, okay? So let's see now. If I go here in my GPO and I go and edit here, no, sorry, if I go in setting here, I can see all my setting here. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to put it bigger, and I'm going to do a show all here. So I see all my setting here, okay? So this is all my setting here for my GPO 1, okay? This is the setting here. And of course, like I told you, I did a lot of setting here, because if I go in policy, admin template, all setting, I can see that all my setting here that I created. Let's see if it was enabled. Okay, so let's go here to our, let's see if my Windows Defender is turned off. Okay, so if I tap Windows Defender here, Defender, Windows Defender firewall. Okay, so I can see if it's turned off or not. Okay, so here, turn Windows Defender. Of course, I can see if it's turned on off. So let's see here, just to see what I did here. Do not allow sound recorder to run. Okay, so let's type sound recorder. Sound recorder here, voice recorder. Okay, and you see you can do it. Okay, so this can be an issue because you say I don't understand why. And prohibit task deletion. Let's go to my task schedules. Okay, let's go into task scheduler. Okay, let's go here. Okay, and if I want, for example, to go, I don't know, on this one here and to remove one, can I remove it? Okay, so for example, I don't know, this one, and I can do a remove, yes. But you don't have the permission to delete this task. Okay, maybe. Oh, sorry. Sorry, excuse me. So remember that if you have your policy here from user and computer, okay, so here you have your computer here with your sorry, my desktop, with my desktop here. Okay, this is all my computer, and your user is here. Okay, so you have, so of course the problem is that you will have to create a policy, group policy here for your computer, and a group policy here. Okay, you can also avoid that with something named loopback processing. Okay, so this is the power of really the group policy. Okay, guy. So so here you can apply a policy. Okay, to know you can apply filter. You can do security filter. Okay, so you can specify a security group or in the user or computer that related to scope, but to which the GPO should not be applied. You can do a filter. So for example, you can say apply this policy to all Windows 10 with some 3D space, for example. And the process order is local, site, domain, OU, and child OU. Okay, and if you link server GPO to the OU, their processing occurs in the order that the admin specify under OU. The GPMC has preferred as a number. The smaller the number, that is, the closer number is to 1, the higher the preference. After you have the Admx ADML. Admx ADML is all the definition you have in group policy. Okay, where are they? They are by default in Windows policy definition, and you have two types. You have ADMX and ADML. ADMX is the registry setting, ADML is the language. And here you have two types. You have computer configuration, user configuration. Remember that you can store, they are stored in C drive, but you can copy them if your FQDN sysvol policy location. And so it's very nice because if you have more than one DC, you can retrieve the configuration from a central store. This is very nice. So you have two group policy for your domain. You have a default domain policies. So the default domain policy is linked to the domain and it's applied to authenticate user. And this GPO content policy setting that specify password, account logout, Kerberos version 5 authentication. And you have the default domain control policies. And the default domain control policy links to the organization OU of the domain controller only. Okay. Remember that when you change a group policy, the version number change. The version number is stored as a group policy container attribute in the text file group policy GPO.ini. Okay, remember that. So default domain policies, okay, and default domain control policies, and they are linked to the OU of the domain controller. Okay, this is very, very nice. And the other one is for all the authenticate user. Okay, so you can find them here. Let's go back here. So you can go here in your group policy and you can find the two policy we talk about later. The default domain policy here, okay? And this is the one that is the most used, okay, here, default domain policy here. So when you change this one, for example, you have a lot of very important setting here. Like if you go in your policy here in admin template, so Windows settings, sorry, Let's close this one. Security setting. Here you have, for example, your account policy with your password, saying that he can remember the 24 password. Remember, okay? You must change the password every 42 days. The password must be minimum 7 characters, and you cannot change it before 1 day. Okay, so you must wait 1 day before changing the password, and it must meet complexity requirement. You can do also store reverse encryption. This is more from Macintosh, and here you can say, okay, I want to have a very complex, so you must follow this combination of character, like uppercase, lowercase, blah 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 blah. So you have your account local policies. For example, if after 3 times of let's say 5 times you make a mistake, you're going to be locked for 30 minutes, for example. So if you want to DeLock yourself, you cannot do it. Okay, you must ask the admin to go on your username. For example, let's say you are David here. You go on copy here, and on the account here you have unlock account. Okay, so you don't have to wait the 30 minutes. Cool. You have all your local policy here. This is to do audit policy, so you can enable it and you can see exactly what users are doing on your directory. You have user right, change the time zone, create a page file, debug program. Wow. Security option here with all security option here, so you have so many here option. Okay, you have the event log. You can change group membership on all your computer. You can start a service remotely. Just take, for example, let's say that I want the offline files to be selected automatically. I do automatic here, and all my computer will have this service automatically started, okay, on all the computer. You can change remotely registry, so you can create a new add key here. Wow, amazing. You can go in file system. You can change your firewall. So that's the power of the default domain policy. This is a very important one, okay? And of course you have your other policy for your OU here, okay? No problem here, domain controller. So you can find your policy here. If you type policy, you just click one time and on your 80 if it's working correctly. Okay, come on. So I want to close this. So yeah, if you go here and you type your, I think it's admin tools here, let me remember, and you will have your local policy here for only your DC. Okay, so go here and just type a policy and you will find them here. Okay, so no problem. Okay, so this is the group policy. Okay, it's so many things to understand. Now let's see some what you can do with policy. Okay, here, so remember that actually all my user here has this GPO enabled, but if I create, for example, if I create another one here, let's say I'm going to create a GPO here for everybody. Okay, so let's say I'm going to create a GPO 2. So when you create another GPO all up here, what is happening is that when you will go on your marketing here, or you will see that you will have 2 GPO apply. The one I created all up and the one I created here. And you can see that you have the GPO, default domain, and GPO 2. Okay, this is the closer one. Go up and GPO 2, the last one. Okay, you can change the order here if you want. Go here and you can change the order. Okay, it's very, very simple. Okay, here the link order for this one, GPO 1. Okay, cool. What you can do also is that if you don't want, to block something, you can go, for example, here in marketing, and you can block it in events. When you do that, what is happening is that all the policy were coming from the top will not be applied here. If you go here, you can see that there is only one here. But if I take out the group here, you will see that I have all the other one was coming from all up. Okay. So if I do here and I do block here, remember you have only one, but I can say this one is very important, so I can unforce it. If I unforce it, it will pass. See, you will see that GPO 2 will pass in here because it's been unforced. So unforced will bypass the block. No, you want to block? No, I don't want. I will pass. Okay, so that's a good way to make sure that even if you block something, you want to be sure that a very important policy will be applied to your OU. Okay, cool. So last thing about your Admx. Okay, remember that when you go here, you go in edit here, you see that you have admin template. Okay, for example, here, let's go in admin template, put it here like this. You have your control panel, desktop. Okay, and all this setting is coming from Admx file. Let me show you what is Admx file. So let's go here on my, I have an issue in my here. I wonder what is happening. It's very slow. It's like all my VM are very slow today. Let's close it again and open it again. Okay, I don't know why he's doing all this mess. Okay, let's go back here. So here, all the setting you can see here, okay, on your policy. Remember here, all the setting here that I show you. Let's go back here. All this setting you can see here they're coming from Admx. Okay, so if I go here in Windows, hey man, it's like I have a problem here of my screen. Okay, so if I go in policy definition here, Windows policy definition, you can see all these Admx. Okay, all these Admx file that you are using actually. Okay, I'll put it in bigger because it's not very clear for everybody. All these Admx file here are the setting that you find here on your policy. Okay, so all this is part of Admx. Okay, so if you go in, for example, control panel display, if you open this Admx here, you will see that it's only registry setting. Okay, so let's the notepad here. You can see that it's only where in the registry it will be changed. Okay, you can see key software here with the value name here. So it's like if you go on each computer one by one and you go in the registry and you change it. Okay, I'm not going to go on 2,000 computer, of course. So this is the Admx, and the ADML is the explanation. So if you go here, you have the ADML. This is ADML. See, it's the help here. So in ADML language, actually it's in US. If I go, for example, in biometrics, I open it, you will see it's only a matter of language. See, it's explaining what you can do. Okay, so that's it. So that's mean that you can, of course, go on the internet and you can add other Admx and ADML. Just have to copy them here in your folder, Admx and ADML. Admx must be shipped with ADML. Okay, so meaning that if you can go here on your internet and you can, for example, say I want to download ADML for example, Office 365 for Office. So I can say download Admx Office, and if you type that, you can download the admin template for Office 365. It's different, but if I want to have it for Office, Microsoft Office, okay, let's say Office, yeah, this one, you can download them, okay, directly here. Okay, this is Office because now we're using click to run. Okay, but you can download your ADML for your Office here, and after you just have to add them here, and you can configure all your Office suite directly from a GPO. Cool. I hope that it's more clear for you what is group policy. Go on the internet and go maybe to Google some information about, but I think it's the most important is all what I show. We can pass a lot of time. I know there's a training of 5 days only on group policy. Oh my god, 5 days on group policy. Woohoo! Take something because your head will be like that. Cool. So where we are actually in the training, we saw all group policy. Okay, and after that we'll try to see all the information about networking, and we have so many things to see. Ciao ciao, see you soon and take care. Bye.